Finally, after all the stuff I was put through by Amazon and that third-party free show seller I've never heard of before, which is, I believe it's called Media America. I think that's a warehouse where Amazon had shipped it from. After all the mess I was put through, they finally got their acts together, and I finally got it in today. Now, I do have another one of these coming. The reason why the second one is coming is because I thought the first one, which is this one, was lost in transit to the carrier. Turns out it wasn't. They was just taking their sweet time. Well, I ended up buying another one. So that one's going to be used at work. And then the Honeywell at work will then come back home to the house. Okay, the white one I have over there now is going to go over there where the comfort zone is when I sleep at night. All right, so we'll make all those arrangements. Am I going to record all those arrangements? No, I'm not going to record all those arrangements. Okay, but when the second one comes, it's the exact same one that you see right here. It's just another one. Are you going to do an unboxing of that one? No, I'm not going to do an unboxing of that one. But you'll see it at work when I film it. There's no need for me to do a whole nother unboxing and putting it together again. You're seeing that now. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. And let's see what we got. Now, from what I understand, these are relatively good fans. Jordan Yu said he has about 3 of them. He got the ones from Home Depot. It's basically the same manufacturer that produced this fan for pretty much all the China brand companies out there. So it's a relatively decent fan. And I've heard a lot of good things about these, including that white one that's rebranded L'Oreal. It's the same Pelonis type fan or made by the same folks. So anyways, let's go ahead and unbox this, and here we go. I do hope you enjoy the video. It did have some information on here, like my address and all that kind of stuff that they usually slap on there. Unfortunately, it didn't come in a brown shipping box, so now I definitely got to make sure it's okay. Not quite sure why Amazon failed to put it in that, but it is what it is. I peeled all the information off of there so that you guys wouldn't see the address, because I don't want to show that on YouTube, okay? So that's why. All right, so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and pull it out and see what we got. Now, this was the original 2,000 subscriber special, but because of all the screw-ups that Amazon was putting me through, I ended up getting the white one, which I do like that one a lot because it's the same manufacturer. All right, but this has nothing to do with the 2,000 subscriber special. It's just late coming, so here it is. My mom has the stand fan version of this, and it's a really good fan, so I said, okay, well, I'll get me one. I'll get the table one. So here we go. The reason why I got my hand covering it, because it's some personal information. It's basically what this is. It's not a manual. It's just personal information. That's just some type of barcode down there, so that's fine to show. That's all that is. But the personal information, like my address and all that's covered up, because it's just an invoice. They always give you an invoice, so that's what that is. Here's the grills. And there is the fan blade. The grills and fan blade. Unlike L'Oreal, also Pelonis cares about their customers because the manual is not jacked up. But let's see how well made the fan is. I've heard so many good things about it. I'm almost certain it's just like how it is with the L'Oreal. There is no surprise there. So, there you go. Unlike the L'Oreal, exact same thing. Here we go. Like I showed y'all last time, the fan spinner that you put on the blade. See if I can show it so y'all can see it. I do apologize. The camera that I'm using don't have no flash on it, so I would ask that you be patient with me. Thank you. That's the fan spinner, and then of course you got the base. Now, Jordan, I know you indicated that you like cardboard when it comes to protection. Well, with the Pelonis fan, it came with cardboard for protection on the motor.
Any community can open schools and any environment. The challenge is to keep them open. But it's going to be really difficult to control the virus. And that means places around the U.S.
That's just for added protection on the motor housing.
Now, or the kids are probably not going to go to school in fall.
And then you have the motor housing, that blue piece right there covering up, the motor housing, the blue piece right there covering up the shaft. And then you have the neck here and the buttons and all that stuff. So, I'm trying to pull it out enough where y'all can see it. Here you go.
Let's see on the list. I want to talk to you about resources for testing and safety protocols, but they're still having issues. What does that mean for the rest of the country, especially as the White House to reopen schools, right? If you look at Major League Baseball, all kinds of...
No, I'm not going to keep the box. Don't ask. Unlike Jordan, Jordan always keeps the box because that's what he does. He stores all his fans in boxes. I don't. I barely have room in here for fans. So I don't even have room for boxes. I don't have nothing to do with boxes. I don't do all that kind of stuff and return them and do all that stuff. So that's why I don't hold on to the boxes. So if you're asking me if I'm going to hold on to the box, the answer is no. Now let's go ahead and put it together.
And we're going to have to make sure that we control it. Testing people regularly may help you find it sooner, but that doesn't prevent the spread. The test is useless if it doesn't come back quickly and get acted on quickly. And we can't think of testing as a substitution for preventing exposure. And we don't know the long-term effects.
The blade is black, but it's exactly the same thing as the L'Oreal. It's just rebranded Pelonis.
Do you want to comment on that? There's a tremendous range of illness there with COVID, from people who really never feel anything and are fine, to people who die and everything in between. So I
like how they put the clamps onto the back guard now instead of on the front guard. It's a lot better that way than you have your little bottom hook. So yeah, that leads me to believe that it's made by Medea, like Jordan said, because it's the same manufacturer for many different brand names. Of course, the one that he got from Home Depot, unfortunately, Home Depot didn't put no brand name on it, or have them to put nothing on it. Let's pull that off. All right, and there it is, Pelonis. This seemed to be a really popular fan because I noticed on Amazon it would just sell out like within minutes, just every single time. I'm like, dang, people are just buying this thing up like it's going out of style. Like it's, you know, it must be a really popular fan. Surprised. All right. So I figured, you know what? If it's that darn popular, I might as well get me a couple of them. And I did. The other one will be here soon. That'll be before I work. But here we go. Let's put it together. I do apologize if it's out of the camera frame. If y'all can't see it, just bear with me. So please don't get in the comments being rude about that. I do apologize. Yeah, I'm busy right now trying to pull this off, so I'm not even looking in the camera view. I ask that you bear with me kindly as I try to pull the cover off without damaging anything. Okay? Thank you. Okay, there we go. Let me sit this down. I believe this goes. I'm sorry, here I go again, out of the view. A freak show, but it wouldn't be a video without that anyway. Anyway, there we go. That's what I want. Alright. Now, if you notice, the neck on this one is made like this. Now, when I showed you the picture of the L'Oreal, it actually did have this neck. But if you look at the one I got, they had redesigned the neck on it. So I guess the new manufacturer had redesigned the neck on that, but they kept the neck the same for the Pelonis. I'm going to go ahead and put this down now. I think y'all can see it. They kept the neck the same. For the Pelonis. I guess L'Oreal, the actual company, L'Oreal, wanted it to be a little bit different from the Pelonis. So the neck on that one is slightly different. But the blade set and everything else is still the same. All right, let's go ahead and put it together and let's see what we got.
Where we're up here and the rest of the world is down at a level that's just a tiny fraction of what we've done in terms of testing. So it sort of is curious. A man works for us, with us very closely, Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx, also highly thought of. And yet they're highly thought of, but nobody likes.
The clamps on these are much easier to open than it was on the L'Oreal version.
Whining about why nobody likes him in the middle of a deadly pandemic, 150,000 or so people dead.
He is what I call the episodic man. Mr. Trump wakes up every morning and he's ready to do battle in a new scene, and it's completely disconnected from what happened yesterday. So today,
Anthony Fauci gets good ratings, people like him and so forth. He's got to win today. He's got to take on the battle today like a boxer in the ring, and then he fights it, and then he's done with that one, and he'll move on tomorrow, and he will have forgotten about this little scene that we're talking about right now.
You say the president, again, this is what you're saying, the president is more like a persona than a person. Why is that important, especially at this time?
Well, he actually sees himself that way. Mr. Trump doesn't really see himself as a normal person. He sees himself as a kind of superhero, who on the one hand is more than a person with superhuman skills and talents and, you know, that stable genius thing, but at the same time less than a person too, because we expect people to have internal conflicts and agendas and motivational concerns and so forth. Mr. Trump's never made a mistake, I'll tell you. He's just a different kind of being. And in seeing himself that way, he wakes up again every morning, taking on these new scenes like a superhero, one episode after a time, after one after another, but they don't add up. They don't, like, there's nothing in the past in his mind, there's nothing in the future, it's all right here now.
Okay, interesting. So this is coming after an administration official told CNN that the president's announcement that he was throwing the first pitch at the Yankees game surprised even his staff. And this is what the New York Times reported. And I quote, it says, Mr. Trump had been so annoyed by Dr. Fauci's turn in the limelight, and an official familiar with his reaction said that he had directed his aides to call Yankees officials and make good on a long time standing offer from Mr. Levine to throw out an opening pitch. No date was ever finalized. And you say that this is all about President Trump winning back the moment. Explain that.
It's in his mind. I mean, so again, every day's a battle, and he's got to find something to take on that particular day. With respect to the Yankees, I mean, Mr. Trump probably feels they should have played. I mean, and so for him and for many of his supporters, I believe, what becomes true is what should be the case. So indeed, in his mind, the Yankees should have called the President of the United States, the most important man in the world, to throw out the first pitch, and not this second-rate guy named Fauci. They should have picked him, and yet they didn't. But in his mind,
I don't know if y'all recall, but when I first got the stand fan one from my mom, when I did that video and I put it together, that's exactly what it was. This very fan, Pelonis. So that video is still in my archive somewhere if y'all want to go back and watch that one. All right, so let's go ahead and get this thing plugged up so we can see what we got.
I suspect Mr. Trump is energized every morning like a boxer again, ready to fight.
Yeah, and I think listen, he is in New York, or at least was. So he's with the Yankees.
I have to say that the cord on this one is super long. It's about 7.5, probably 7.5 feet, possibly 8. It's pretty long. Not exactly sure how long the one is on the L'Oreal. I think that one's pretty standard. I think that might just be 6 feet, but this one is definitely about 7 or 8. Anyway, let's plug it up.
His ego is a fragile thing that must be bolstered every moment because he knows deep down that he is nothing of what he claims to be.
So the fan is already in. It's already in manual mode or non-oscillation, whatever you call it, non-oscillation. So we'll just start off with that, and then we'll go right into oscillation mode. So here we go.
The book is wonderful. I love what she wrote and so forth. But I think she doesn't quite get what it's like.
Yeah, I definitely like the way it sounds. It kind of sounds like those vintage blue fans way back in the day. At least it has, the blade has that sound. At least in my opinion, it does. Pretty sure you can't hear the wind stream. Y'all can hear the wind stream good. If you can't, do apologize. But it looks like y'all can because it's shaking the phone. There it is. It's relatively quiet. It's not like overly bearing, overly loud on high. Not even on medium. I definitely like the way this one sounds, especially on medium. And finally, it's real quiet on low. I'm sorry, the TV is kind of loud. But I got to have background noise. Okay. And let's check out the spin down. Remember what I told you before when I did the video of the L'Oreal. It might not be that long because it's fresh out of the factory, so you can understand that. But let's do the spin down. We'll do the spin down from high. And spin down. And we're going to put it in oscillation mode. Yep, that's what you can come to expect because the oil has to get into the bearings. All right, now oscillation mode. Starting off on high speed. Very smooth oscillator, just like the L'Oreal. Well, of course, because it's the same manufacturer. So what's different about the L'Oreal from this one? Well, just the bass. The bass is not like that one. I think the previous model was like this one. But I guess ever since the manufacturer started making all of these the same for pretty much everybody, apparently L'Oreal just wanted the bass to be different, but everything else about it is the same. But yeah, here's the Pelonis, and yeah, here it is. Now, when I get that second one, I told you, like same thing, no unboxing of that, because you already seen the unboxing. That one will be at work, and when I set it up for at work, I'll do a video showing it running at work. But that's not going to happen until I get it. So here it is. You're looking at it now. All right, let's go down to medium. Super easy to service this fan. Easy to pull the blade off, easy to take off the guard, wash it out, clean it up. Which this one will get a lot of heavy use, being that we're almost in the middle of the summer. So as of now until, because I tell you, I use fans all around the clock, 365 days of the year. I don't just use them in the summer and that's it. No, not me. It gets used all the time. So it's going to be cleaned frequent. Because this one's going by the computer center. And then the L'Oreal's going over there by the bed. And then, of course, this one again, when I get the second one, it's going to be at work. All right. Oscillation on low speed. Has a very smooth oscillation. It's not stalling. It's not doing one of those numbers. It's very smooth. That's what I like about it. Most time when you get a fan this cheap, you're going to have issues with the oscillator. Well, that's not the case with Medea. The manufacturer, not all these different companies slapping their names on these, but the manufacturer cares about their customers. No wonder this fan is so popular. Because of the build quality and how they care about their customers. Only reason why it stalled a little bit is because I just messed with it. I tried to get it to stop oscillating. But other than that, that's the only reason. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video of this Pelonis. Woo, I went through a whole lot to get it. But I got this one. I got the second one coming. And, wow, I've never been through all of that with Amazon over an oscillating fan. What a freak show. But I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it. You're going to see more of this in the upcoming videos. LAMONT-TheFanMan, and out. God bless you, and gone.